Welcome everyone to the NetTalks Festival and this very lovely event all on tech. And we are so excited to have you here. And so I would ask you to let us know your name, your location, where you're joining us from, and just drop in chat something that has made you smile today. I would like to hear it. Welcome. Please let us know your name, where you're joining us from, and just tell us one thing that has made you smile today. I'm going to pop into the chat to read your messages and comments just as they come in. Welcome. Please let us know your name, your location, and just tell us something that has made you smile today in chat. Welcome, Marcella. You're joining us from Chicago. And I guess your dog. Lovely. Welcome, Philip. And congratulations again on successfully holding your dinner in Berlin, Philip. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome. Just drop in chat your name, your location, and something that has made you smile today. Wow, lovely. Sean, you're joining us from Switzerland. And what has made you smile today? You had a really great webinar on market-based sanitation in Rwanda. Oh, wow. That sounds really exciting and interesting. Alexander, you're joining us from Illinois. And your seventh graders last day of school today. Oh, that's interesting because my 3 years old daughter, they had their cultural day today in school. And so we had to dress her in this African outfit. And she was all excited. And when we took her to school this morning, she just didn't let anyone come close to her. She was just all about herself, you know. So I kind of connect with what you shared. Kim is joining us from California, and your cat made you smile this morning. That's nice. Mike, you're joining us from Wales, and a friendly pair of guys at the recycling center who helped you unload your car. Yeah, that's what smiling about. Getting all the help you can from strangers and from people can really be worthwhile. Welcome. For those of you just joining us, we're still welcoming everyone, and I've asked them to share their name, your location, you're joining us from, and something that has made you smile today. Joachim is joining from New York, and the sun back out after 2 days of rain is making him smile. Lovely. So I'll just encourage you to go through the chat and see if you can find someone in your location and then just drop a message and say hi to them, because that's what this space is about as well. So I encourage you, just read through the chats. Are you finding anyone in your location? Are you finding someone around you, or is there something they have shared that made them smile that you kind of resonate with? You can react to it. You can drop them in chat as well. Happy to see you joining from South Africa. And what has made you smile is that you had a breakthrough with Salesforce. Woo, congrats. That's nice. Keep them coming. Ash Waya, I hope I pronounced your name well. You're joining us from India. And you said sleeping made you happy today after many sleepless nights. I can't wait to have one of those as well after the festival because it's really been back-to-back sleepless nights for most of us at the Fito team. So yeah, I can resonate with you being happy over some hours of sleep. Avani joining from India as well, and your cat jumped on the chair that you're sitting in while you were on the call and wreaked havoc, and that made you smile. And the cat is looking so innocent. Welcome, guys. Welcome. So keep those messages coming in. To you, Carolina.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Naka, for the wonderful welcome. And from my side as well, welcome everyone today. So the reason we are here today is because so many times people that are hosting networks that are at least partly digital with network engagement happening online end up a bit stumped as to what platform should I choose, and many times people end up hastily adopting a platform that's in the mainstream that then doesn't serve their needs, and that then also many times is not based or built on the same kinds of values that our networks claim to have, such as equity, privacy, collaboration, etc. So for this session of the festival, we decided to organize a platforms expo. We have done it in the past at other editions of the festival as well. So you will see 4 demos today. We have with us David Hodgson, who founded Mycelium. We have Joachim Stroh from Haifa. We have Lawrence Dell from Sutra, and we have Daphne Land with Planeteer. They will be showing us a 5-minute demo of each of their platforms, and then we are going to do an expo. We are going to open breakouts. There will be 2 rounds of them, and you'll be able to spend some time chatting to them, seeing more in-depth demos. So you'll get to see 2 of the platforms that you're most interested in out of all of the ones you'll be able to take a quick peek into at the start. So we are going to start off with the 5-minute demos from each of the developers and founders that are here with us today. And I am going to start with you, David. So if that's okay, welcome here. And we'd love to see a little bit about Mycelium.
Cool. Is that the right window to share? So Carolina, that's sharing okay right now.
Yes, it is. Berkeley Regenerative Lunch Club.
Yes. So about, I guess, 6 years ago, 2019, I set up this network called the Global Regeneration Collab, which is how I met Carolina. And she was helping us run that for a while, which was very nice of her. And when I set that up, there were no platforms out there that I really liked. So I put together a bit of a tech stack just using Slack, Google Groups, Google Calendars, all hooked together using Zapier. And that's worked okay, but there's been definitely a few issues with it over the last 6 or 7 years. And within the network, we run 5 to 10 calls every week, kind of somewhat pretty much all member-led calls. And one of the things we noticed was that, the number of people who showed up for calls, for conversations versus the number of people who actually participated in the Slack was, quite more people showed up, at least from my perspective, for calls than really participated in online Slack-based conversation. So a couple of years, my background is technology. So a couple of years ago, I started building this platform, which was really designed to be the thing that I needed when I was setting the Global Regeneration Collab up. And so it's very much oriented around, there's really two, this is a platform that's aimed at people who are running networks rather than aimed at the members of networks. So the core goal here is to make it easy for the facilitators of the network to run events with members of the network and communicate with them. And then in parallel to that, there's an AI system on the back end that you can turn on or off that every week will make an introduction between the members of the network. So, you know, it's looking at members' profiles and then going, oh, this person hasn't been connected to this other person yet. And it sends an introduction between them, and that's one a week. So, and people can change the frequency of that. But the goal, you know, if everyone is getting one introduction per week to other people in the community and the network who are aligned, at the end of a year, you've got 52 new connections to aligned people. And the other thing about the Global Regeneration Collab was it was a, just like the name suggests, you know, a global network of people working on regeneration where the goal was to catalyze collaboration. So the way I've set this up, so people who are members of the network maybe come to this platform once or twice a year. They have I've designed it so there's no reason. The members don't have to adopt a new platform. Everything happens where they are already. So all the communication really happens over email, and the emails that they receive have a, you know, instead of trying to recreate kind of Slack or WhatsApp type functionality, where you can pretty much guarantee that people will interact with one another in a conversational way. I'm not trying to get people to adopt a new platform. So when you send out an event or you send out a newsletter using this platform, at the bottom, at the bottom of that email, it says, hey, join the conversation in the WhatsApp group or in the Signal group or in the Discord group. So wherever your community already gathers, that's where people gather. This is here to then make it easy to send emails out to people for events and yeah, kind of simple newsletter things. But there is the one reason they would come here is to scan through the member directory or search through to kind of go, oh, you know, is there anyone who's a lawyer? Yeah, potentially a lawyer in this case. There isn't. But you know, it searches the profiles of everybody, so you can kind of come and find other people. But most of the time, everything's happening in an ambient fashion. So yeah, you know, events, you can schedule an event, hook in the you know, your Zoom thing. So, you know, any one of the people who's a manager can, you know, schedule events, and it tracks RSVPs. And after you've run an event, you can kind of reconcile who RSVP'd with who actually attended. And you can easily send out a follow-up email to connect everybody who joined that event together with all of their, you know, emails plus their profile links. And that's the other thing. When people join, they don't enter in. The only information they have to enter in is their name, their email address, and a public profile that they have on the web. And then the system, you know, using AI just goes off to that profile and builds a profile for them automatically. So you don't end up with a bunch of dead profiles with no information in, which is what I've often seen happen. Yeah. And they can come and edit that if they want to, but there's no, you know, if they're happy with it or whatever else, you know, there's no need for them to do that. Yeah, and then just, you know, simple newsletter thing. So this, you know, yeah, there's not lots of bells and whistles. It's very much, okay, and when the events go out, shows up in your Gmail, wherever inbox, and you can just RSVP directly there. So even RSVPing, you don't have to come to some other place to do that. Everything, as much as possible, happens in people's email inboxes. Yeah, so I think I'll just leave it there, Carolina. That's
All right. Thank you so much. Dave, you are still sharing the screen. So for let's say platform averse but want to connect networks, this was Mycelial, and I am then going to hand it over to Lawrence, who is one of the founders of Sutra.
Great. All right. Thanks, Carolina. Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm curious, how many people here have engaged in some sort of learning experience over the last couple of years? Just show of hands. Anybody? Anyone here online learning? Okay, perfect. So maybe before we start, just a quick exercise in imagination, just a quick reflection. I want you to imagine the best learning experience that you can imagine, right? Whether it's online or in person. I'm guessing it doesn't involve being talked at for hours or watching videos alone or reading a textbook by yourself for hours. But most of online learning really revolves around that kind of experience, particularly anything that's self-paced. So what we're looking at is really how do you create a more relational learning experience that not only situates the value in the content that the expert, the instructor has to offer, but really surfaces the insight and understanding of all the participants involved. I think everybody here is involved in some sort of network weaving, network building, and that is really situated in the idea that the value comes from every participant. So what does a learning experience look like that creates an opportunity for that value to somehow be surfaced in the context of everybody's learning? So that's what I want to show you today as far as the work that we've been doing with Sutra and really what our intention is. 5 minutes is not a long time, so I'm going to be pretty brief here around some of the core things that we do. But this is a learning experience that we did with Charles Eisenstein a little while back. And usually you have a learning experience, you have a series of videos, you might go through it on your own. Obviously, there's a broad spectrum to what online learning can look like, from a cohort-based experience where you have Zoom calls and that kind of thing, to a self-paced experience. And so what we're looking at here is really the intersection of a self-paced experience that also allows people in that experience to connect with each other, to learn from each other, and to really build a living library of knowledge together. So here, there's a first video, and then there's a reflective prompt, reflecting on a time when you felt yourself being pulled into an us versus them mentality, either by the media, social media, or personal interactions. How did this experience shape your views and interactions with others? And what steps can you take to foster a more open and receptive perspective in similar situations? So this isn't an assessment question. It isn't what are the 3 things you learned from this video. Rather, it's a question that answering it likely invites you to share your experience in a way that might offer value to other people. So if you've ever been part of a live workshop that's been really well run and designed, usually that involves, usually some of the best learning happens through the sharing of other people. So there's a couple of things here. One is that after I respond, I can explore what other people have shared. But the key thing here that we're really exploring is how can AI function like a facilitator, right? The one thing that we don't have is always on access to an amazing facilitator that can work with a group of people to really surface their understanding, to really find what is it that they bring. I think in a world of AI, we don't need more content. We need more relational capacity, more relational intelligence. And so that's really what we've designed Sutra around, is how can the AI look at everything that people are contributing, whether it's a series of videos or just a series of prompts, and then somehow offer intelligence around that. So here I have a quick analysis of what's come up. Binary thinking is showing up everywhere, and the evidence makes it clear people slip into us versus them around vaccines, wars, and media narratives. As one post puts it, which side are you on? Are you on the good team or evil? the pull shapes everyday interactions as much as beliefs. What actually helps when the pull hits, pause and step out of re-engaging. So here it's reflecting to me what people have been sharing as far as their responses to this question, and really surfacing their experience. There's a few highlights that are shared, and the system, the more I engage with the system learns about me and understands me. And so it actually offers me highlights based on my orientation. So here it's telling me, like your post, this one catches, and us versus them turn. So this is based on what I've shared. There's a post that's being recommended to me, and I can read this post, I can respond to it. I think what's also really interesting here is really engaging in these ongoing micro conversations with other people while also engaging in a conversation with the AI around that content. So, for example, here there's a selection of suggested questions, like which narratives dominate the responses about engaging with opposing views. So I can open that, I can ask my own questions, so I can go in depth into what people are sharing, and I can just directly respond to people and have conversations with them through the conversation here. The other thing I can do is visually explore what's going on in a space. So here I can see the people that have been part of the conversation. I can see some of the interests that are emerging from the conversation, and then based on those, I can click through. I can see specific posts related to that. I can respond to those. So there's lots of ways to engage in the conversation that's emerging. I can also see which have been the most active conversations all time in the last 30 days, in the last 7 days. And again, I can click through and explore what people are interested in and go deeper into the conversation. So that's on the kind of like, and this can work with videos. It can work with just short prompts, like you have a group of people or an organization, you want to take them through a sequence of questions. And then of course the question is, how do you create that? And so the other side of the equation is we have an AI engine that lets you, say you run a Zoom workshop, you can come here, take that 2-hour workshop, and let's see, let's find this. So here I have this is a presentation that Thomas Hubel did, like a 2-hour talk about global social witnessing. So you can take that, answer a few questions like, do you want to create a course out of the ideas, out of specific sections or clips? You can literally say which segments, or allow the system to automatically decide what the core topics are. And it puts together an experience like this within a few moments. It cuts the clips out, it puts it in, it creates the reflective questions, and structures the whole conversation. So you can have an experience like this where a bunch of people get together for some sort of workshop, and usually that happens and it's over. Then you can take that workshop, drop it into this kind of experience, and then create this ongoing journey around what people bring to the experience. So that's me.
Lovely. Thank you, Lawrence. So that was Sutra, specifically very nice platform for learning-based communities with reflection and encouraging reflection and conversation. And next, I'm going to hand it over to Joachim from Haifa. Please take the floor.
Thank you, Carolina, and thanks, Lawrence and David. Very cool platforms. Love the name mycelium. That's very similar to what Haifa is doing. Haifa stands for mycelium in the soil, connecting everybody together. And I see, the patterns already coming out of this. Lawrence with an AI integration. We're doing a similar thing with the Haifa platform. But the audience, of course, incredible audience here today. I mean, globally all connected from all over the world. Great that we see no boundaries, no borders, and coming together to really solve these problems and see new opportunities here on the horizon. So let's dive in. Let me share my screen here. Okay, hope you see this.
Yes.
This is the Haifa homepage. Let me start with, we're very use case focused. We're trying to build the platform around existing and new use cases. Renewable energy is a big one. We're having regenerative cities, bioregions, blended finance. There are bunch of ways of applying the platform in different places. So when you go down and see what's possible in these platform spaces, right? We're trying to build that and organize it around our network. So we've been building the network over the years. We've been doing this for 7 years now. And we have hundreds of organizations in this list here. A lot of them regenerative, a lot of them events, a lot of them villages, right? These are people coming together for a purpose, for a reason, and then build something together, right? And this is really the main idea, the main driver here. You're not doing this in isolation or competitive mode. You're doing this together with others, right? So we started off as sort of a concept of the DAO, if you still remember this, right? The Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Changed to a DHO later, a Decentralized Human Organization. And now we're really into, this is about adaptable organizations. It's about adaptable organisms, right? It's more of a living system. And so what we're doing now is to see how that maps to spaces. So each one of these entities here is really a space that's organized, that's coordinating their activities with other spaces, with other entities in the network. So let me give you a quick introduction to how Haifa looks like as a space, right? So here's when you open it up, that's the entry point. And you see here, you can navigate the space, right? You can look around, you can see, okay, Haifa is comprised of 4 different spaces, right? So that's Haifa, the organism itself. There's Haifa, the platform, there's Haifa, the services layer. So different kinds of layers really that make up the Haifa space. So if I look at the Haifa platform space, that's the one I'm in now, we're looking at ways to sort of process signals. It's really a way for us to say there's this organism, right? And it's sensitive, it receives signals, it perceives signals, and it does something with it, right? So that's the core sort of engine within Haifa. We call it the coherence engine for people to come together and say, what do we do? What do we make out of these signals here, right? And then make a decision and go to the next stage and say, okay, once we have perceived a signal that's strong enough, that's important enough, right? That's a great opportunity for us. We can do something with it, right? We can decide, great, let's move forward and commit to something and vote on it, right? We can set up an agreement, we can set up a proposal, and once it passes, we're a step further, right? We're coming together and coordinate our activities a bit further. That's the core idea of Haifa, the platform here. And of course, it has the members, the treasury. It's built on Base, that's a layer 2 Ethereum blockchain. So you can use all of the functionality that you see in typical blockchain spaces, transfer funds, to create mint tokens and define what kind of tokens there are, from utility to simple governance tokens, to any token that you come up with. So that's the platform that you can then configure also to your needs, right? You can say, what kind of governance system do you want to apply? What kind of voting methods do you want to have inside the space? How do members enter and exit the spaces, right? What does the treasury look like? What do you want to do with other plugins into the system? So it's a very flexible component, very flexible system. And the idea is really to apply that again to these different use cases, right? Lastly, I wanted to show you, to tie that also what Lawrence has shown you earlier. So the centerpiece here is really you build something. That's the thing that comes together here. But surrounding it is the people. It's us humans. It's discussing what is going on with the organism. And it's also the AI on the other side to suggest, to support, to accelerate all of the work that's been done in this center space. This is where the organization evolves. It turns into a generative UI that helps you see what is really going on with the organization. See through the signals, see through the activities, see through the contributions that people make to the platform, right? So that's the idea. You have the human organization and the human chat here, the group chat on the right side, and you have the AI supporting this, extracting information and sharing that information. It's really the intelligence that sits there and helps you build that organism together. So that's the idea, capturing these signals, processing these signals together, right? And then moving that thing forward that you're building here at the center. That's the idea of Haifa. And we're going deeper now into other concepts, related concepts like boundary objects. If you're familiar with Susan Leigh Starr, she had this idea of sharing this information with others across the network. And that's part of our platform because we don't operate in isolation. We want to operate with others together within the ecosystem, within the entire network. So that's coming and looking forward to see how that reflects with you guys. Thank you, Carolina.
All right, thank you, Joachim. That was Haifa with very strong governance mechanisms for communities. And last but not least, I'm going to hand it over to Daphne to show us Planeteer.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Laan. I'll do a short intro and then I'll start sharing my screen. I think somebody said something around dancing. So when we started with Planeteer, we said we're putting the heart into technology. So as my background, I started in a tech world a long time ago. So basically, before the year 2000, I was in solar energy. I was in telco before people in business had a mobile phone. I became a head of technology at Google. When making the world's information universally accessible was actually a goal. And that's where I took on the experiment, which is also relevant for why we're doing Planeteer. So the experiment I took on is what happens if you follow your heart in everything you do? And I found out that a lot of doors open unexpectedly when you do so. So I met one of my co-founders on the dance floor in Barcelona. We were both engaged in a larger program connected to the Shell Foundation. And we worked a year on coherence. And when we met, we found that we had some similarities in bringing ecosystems together. And they internally already had piloted a learning platform. So we decided to join forces. And at that time, made one pitch to a German foundation who said, if you with your backgrounds are going to do this, we want to support you. So what is Planeteer? And then I'll show you. But Planeteer is an ecosystem platform for collaboration. We have an AI companion who is called Merlin, the magician, and Merlin connects people, organizations, companies to each other. So when you make a profile, it basically shows other Planeteers and how similar you are, but you can also flip it over and say, I want to meet people who are not so similar. I will share my screen in a second. Let's see if I can do it now. Yeah. And I think it takes the
The only way.
Can you confirm you see my screen?
I'm okay, it's just come through. Before I could see you were sharing, I couldn't see the image, but I was also wondering if it was my connection.
Okay,
Right
I'm
now I
going to
can see it. Yes, but then the window is a little bit off center. Okay,
Yeah,
there we
so I
go.
think
Nice.
yeah, I think we should be good now. Yeah. So what we're saying with Planeteer is we're basically building a platform to co-create a future we know is possible, or we all know is possible. It doesn't have to be this one future, but we all feel like we are sometimes working in a world where not everything is basically supporting us. So we thought, okay, what is the environment that we can at least build that would support? So, and in the breakouts, I'll share a bit more, but how it is built up is you can make your own profile.
Daphne, I'm
And
sorry to interrupt you. I don't want to break your train of thought, but there is this black rectangle in the middle of the screen. Yes, right, just off to the left of the map. Yes, I think it's the zoom controls, and for some reason they're showing up, but
you mean the
yeah,
Zoom
maybe
controls are in the middle of the screen.
yes, maybe if you pull them to the bottom, it won't be.
Yeah, I
Yes,
pulled
I
them
think that's
to,
less disruptive.
is that better?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
no,
much
thank you for
better.
sharing because often you don't see where the controls are put. I'll just hide you in a way. Is this better?
Yes. Yes,
Cool.
much better. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So you can make your own profile, and you can use your the AI companion basically to craft a profile. So you can talk to it, and then it crafts a profile. It is a bit more of an extensive profile than a LinkedIn profile, because you can talk about your creations, your dreams. You have prompts, and basically you can go as reflected as you want, or less so. The system then basically matches you with people who are similar, or you can select people who are not so similar. We can also make communities on the platform. And in those communities, basically it functions the same as basically on the Planeteer home. You can create a community, and within the community you have a feed, but you can also message people individually via basically the inbox. Or you can ask Merlin, for example, hey, I love to work together on microbiome. And that basically feeds you back people that are working on the microbiome, and you can ask onward questions. What we're currently further developing is access to a learning gateway. So that is something here where people can offer their own learnings, etc. And then in the back, there is also an AI companion that helps basically craft learning pathways, or people can offer their own curriculum. And we work on the basis of matching quests and offers. So people who have defined a certain quest, we are now also matching people with people that might have an answer to the quest, or people can basically respond. What we haven't put live yet, and what we will pilot towards summer, is that we are testing basically a creator model where people can put their offerings on Planeteer, and when a curator or somebody is matched to that offering, there is a revenue share between the creator, the curator, and the connector. The reason why we're going to pilot this is because ultimately we want to create a collective fund. So when people are working together, a certain percentage goes to the collective fund. A part of it can be used for our tech fees. Currently, we're basically covering that also with the partnerships we have. So that basically by working together, we can also foster and allocate funds to where they're needed most. So to regenerative projects. So the next step of what we're building is basically the connecting side is ready, the matching side is ready, and the focus of the coming year is actually on working together, and then allocate financial value towards not only the people who are offering services on the platform or offerings, but also to impact projects. One of the conversations I'm having currently also in the space of investment is basically the following. In a world that is, everybody knows, how, in what state the world is. So in a world that is in conflict, I feel like building a platform for collaboration is actually an act of peace. So that is also now how we engage with external partners to say, okay, how can we collaborate? How can we jointly create a foundational infrastructure for collaboration? So the idea is also to connect Planeteer at a certain point to other technologies. We are also, I think, some of the people who are also in the call, like, Haifa, have conversations with. Sutra, we worked together in the past as well. So to not see it as this one destination where, everything is blocked, but to really explore how can we work together as an ecosystem of ecosystems. And that is, I feel, more and more what the door opens for. So I think that was the sort of 5-minute intro. I can explain more in the breakouts, and I can do a deeper demo there rather than diving into the space here.
Lovely. Thank you, Daphne. And that was a perfect segue into the breakouts. So I'm going to open the breakouts, and they will be self-selecting. So the idea is that this is as close to a real expo as we can do online. There will be one breakout for each of the speakers with their own platform, and you'll be able to join whichever one you want just by going to the bottom of the screen, and you'll see the list of breakouts, and you'll be able to hit join. If you struggle, if you need help, I will be here to assist you. I'm going to open the breakout rooms now, so you can start moving to whichever one you like, and we'll be back here in about 15 minutes. If you need help, either the chat or unmute, and I will help you to join. All right, I see quite a few folks here. I don't know if you're still choosing, but let me know if you need help to join a room. Hi, Mike. Hi, Eva, Kim. Let's see here. I don't see requests.
Bom dia, Carolina.
Hola, Michael. Do you want help to join a breakout with one of the platforms?
I was waiting to see which rooms got populated. Joaquim is in the smallest with one, so I think I might join him just to
Yes, that'll be
to-
lovely. I think people maybe were a bit more confused about his platform. It's the most unusual one. I think you'll find it interesting. I'll send you there then. Thank you.
cheers. Bye.
I need
Kim,
help joining too. I'm not seeing how to join. Where,
you
what do
should see a blue button to the right side, but I can also help you if you tell me which of the platforms you'd like to see.
I'd like to see Haifa.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna send you to Haifa then.
Thank you.
Hello, Cornelius. Welcome back. Do you need help to join a breakout?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Which of the breakouts would you like to join? Which of the platforms were you most interested in?
Planeti.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna send you there. Okay. Hi, Elena, welcome. Can you hear me?
I can.
Good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I just wanted to check with you. Are you just joining or were you here and dropped off?
No,
Okay.
I'm just joining in now because I had another meeting that overran, but I like the topics. I figured I'd learn whatever I could in that last little bit. I know I probably missed
Okay.
a lot of it, but
So I just wanted to explain because now you only see the two of us here. So the way we designed this event was really as an expo. So we had developers from 4 platforms share a bit about each of them, about 5 minutes each, and then we open breakouts. First round is about to end in about 3 minutes now. So there will still be another round of breakouts.
perfect.
So what you can do is I can maybe share the links to the platforms. You can take a pre-look in the meantime and see which ones you'd like to maybe join breakouts for, because you then wouldn't have seen the demos themselves.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is like I like listening to like what people are going to use the product for, and then like even if I'm in a breakout room and I don't really participate a lot in my kind of contribution to it, I would definitely learn from other people's experiences. But please do share the links.
I'm going to put them. It's just because even selecting, people are selecting based on the name of the platform. So, and once again, you can also then use the how do you say, the law of 2 feet from Open Space, which is you can pop into one, then go check out another one. Actually, Mycelial is the one. I'm not sure if we. Okay, I'm gonna drop you 3, and then I'm gonna go look for the other one because this one is not as easy.
Okay, I see them now.
Nice. Okay, the last one. All right. Folks will be back in about 1 or 2 minutes. I'll recreate the breakouts, and then you'll be able to enjoy with everyone.
Perfect. I'm so inspired that all of these tools exist. The only one that I knew about was more about decision making as collective called Lumio.
Lumio.
Lumio? No?
That is familiar, but I know
It's it was developed by a co-op in Australia.
Because it's
quite a
actually
while ago.
familiar, but I don't think I have heard of it in a long time. I feel like, but maybe have come across, but it wouldn't have been recently. Yes, and there are many other platforms, to be fair. We have 4 here, but there are that are built specifically with networks in mind, with communities with impact in mind.
Because a lot of the times, like it's the decision making that becomes difficult.
Yes.
When you're in a network, so
yes, when you're hosting one, stewarding one, yes. All right, I see folks starting to come back. Okay, do we have everyone back? All right, I see a lot of faces, so I am going to assume that everyone is back, and we are going to go into round 2 of the same thing. So you'll get to see another platform now for another round. But while I recreate the breakouts, I'm wondering if anyone might want to share something that they found striking or interesting from the sessions just now. Don't all jump in at once, please. This is
Okay, well, I had a question. My question was answered well. It was what I wanted to understand, so I'm following up. So
all right, nice.
great job.
Quick question, Amit. Can you put your last name in the chat or something so that I can find you on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Amit at Next 5 doesn't help me find you.
All right. Okay, so I guess folks are happy and not very chatty in the main room. So without further ado, I'm just going to open the breakout rooms and same instructions as before. You will see hit breakout rooms. Just repeating this because a couple of folks joined more recently. You'll be able to see the names of the platforms, the names of the speakers. You choose whichever one you want to join. And if you struggle, just unmute or drop something in the chat and I will help you join a breakout. All right, opening the rooms now.
Oh, where I can't see it, Carolina.
Let me assign you. That's okay.
Why? Zoom. Oh. Zoom user experience. God damn it.
Yes, it kills me that I'm trying to assign you, and whenever someone joins a room, then it moves and I can't. So give me a second. Yes, this is not a good user experience. Come on. Hopefully it worked, but if not, you will eventually get there.
I'm still here. Oh, there we go.
I just assigned you. Okay.
Yeah, I
Let's
got the
see.
thing.
Okay, and I still see quite a few of you here. Do you need some help to join someone?
Yeah, could you put me in mycelial? I still don't see where to join. I don't see the links to join.
I wonder if it could be something around around the version of Zoom or something.
Oh,
Okay,
could be.
so you want mycelial, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Who else? Avani, do you need help? Anuba?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I just joined. I think I mixed up the timing. So, if it's possible to have a look at the links again, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop them again in the chat because I actually just dropped for someone who joined a couple minutes before you.
Thanks so much. So if I want to join Sutra, how can I join? Or if it's possible for you to send me there?
I can send you there, no problem at all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Send you there. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, starting to see folks back. We should have everyone in just 10 seconds. All right. I think we have everyone back. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Ooh. Sorry, there's just, if people don't mind staying muted because there's just a background noise coming from somewhere. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you did enjoy the breakouts and being able to engage with different platforms. It was quite cool for me as a host to see because I remember this session from, let's say, 3 years ago in the 2023 Networks Festival, and people were just starting to ask us, oh, why didn't you do a session on AI? We are wondering how this could impact us as network weavers and network leaders. And then it's so interesting to see how in this session now this year, all of you that presented platforms are using AI in some way or another, all different ways to support networks, all in generative ways. So it is really interesting to see. It's so different from what we saw before. And it's great to see the potential. I just wanting to ask, I'm going to open the room a little bit. Does anyone want to share any final thoughts, any final notes, any final comments? No pressure, but just wanted to leave the opportunity there.
Hey, Carolyn, I just wanted to say that this was a wonderful session, and it's surprising how common some of the ideas that people keep thinking by themselves when they come together and meet others. And it's nice to see that others have been thinking about similar ideas on their own. So it's good to find that community, that camaraderie in a group like this. So it was lovely to meet some fellow humans.
Lovely to hear it. Thank you, Amit.
I think, yeah, really, really grateful to all the people who are thinking about how and why to connect. And I think one of my takeaways is a weird possible inverse of what you shared, Carolina, which is like, I'm wondering what, as we become more networked online and use more of these kind of complex and AI-enabled platforms, like what is the kind of work of finding each other, tracking each other down, finding connections that we're going to have to like make up for losing in the ways that it's easy to be connected by with less friction by these platforms that can digest huge amounts of information. And what can I make sure, what are the ways that I need to make sure I nourish my network and members of my network with like slow and unexpected and random and friction. And so I want to connect everybody, and what are the ways that I can lean into a little more randomness, a little bit more slowness. So that's just something that I'm putting in my pocket after this session. Not to be a Luddite, but the Luddites were a powerful labor movement, so maybe we should all channel them a little bit.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing that. And also to that, so the second session in the tech track is about adoption. And it's actually not about, oh, this platform with this feature. It's about what do you do that actually helps a network engage in a platform in a meaningful way, or using tech in a meaningful way, because there's that idea, oh, we're going to get the right platform and then everything's just going to work like magic. And then it just sits there many times. So I think this is a very, very valuable perspective that you're bringing. All right, last call. Any last final closing thoughts?
I just wanted to thank all of the speakers and the presenters. It left me thinking, and I kind of wish we had 4 breakout rooms so I could have visited everyone. I much appreciated. It just got me thinking in ways I hadn't expected. So I just wanted to say thank you, and hopefully I will check the web pages of the 2 that I didn't get to see.
I did just drop all of those links in the chat for you who may want to check out platforms that you didn't see, and we will share the links, the recording for the first part of the session as well. So thank you, Denise. And Michael, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, thank you to you, to everyone for showing. And I thought I'd ask a question of each of the presenters because there were certain differences. Some were building a network that was making that network perform better, and others were about building networks that connected to other networks. And so my 2 questions would be, what did you see in other places that was most interesting to you? And the other question might be, what has made the biggest difference for you and your network in the last year that you would want this group to know about? So both of those are kind of I'll offer those as questions to
Well,
the four speakers.
there are 2 minutes. 2 minutes if any of the speakers, presenters wants to take that. Sorry, it's very short time.
Yeah, I can jump in. I mean, an example is, last year we went to Czechia, the gathering, of people in this regenerative space, overlapping with technology and seeing again the same patterns we're working on, the same issues we're facing with AI coming into this space now. And seeing how people are responding to that. For me, it's really about sort of, you mentioned adoption. So where are we in the adoption life cycle? Are we still early days and just, people getting used to what this is all about? Or some of us are far ahead of the curve and seeing already the potential solutions, right? I really want to see this connected more to mainstream audiences, people like you and me, coming together and really doing something with all of these projects that we're building together, right? That's sort of the challenge I think we're facing. Not being distracted by everything else that's going on around us, right? But seeing there are some horizons coming up now, there's some bridges we're building. Let's see how we can step on those.
Lovely. Thank you, Joachim. And with those final thoughts, I'm going to hand it over to Naka to close us off. Thank you again to Lawrence, Joachim, Daphne, and David for spending some time with us today.
Thank you, Carolina, and thank you, Joachim. Thank you, David. Thank you, Lawrence, and thank you, Lan, for such an insightful session. And if you found this interesting, then I would bet you would find the next session on tech very interesting too, because you're going to be looking at why some network platforms thrive and while others just quietly die. It promises to be another interesting session. And I would like to close us. And before I do that, I would like to retrace that like I said earlier, we have quite some interesting sessions under each of these tracks. We've decided that this year the festival is going to take a different shape and form. So we have 6 tracks, each having 3 interesting session for everyone to be worked on evaluating impact, mapping repos, collective organizing, network tech, equitable collaborations, healing, and centered leadership. And I'm just going to quickly give us a rundown of some of the events for just going to drop that in chat now for each and everyone to see, so you can sign up for anyone that you feel interested in. There you go. And so for Friday, we have a very interesting topic for ripple mapping, creative uses of ripple effect mapping. The link is there for registration. We also encourage you to give towards the sustainability, contribute towards the sustainability of the festival, giving your capacity, give at your comfort zone. The link is also there for you to help us keep the festival going and running. We know a lot of efforts go into these sessions. And so in the usual Fito way, before we say goodbye, I'll just like each and every one of us to turn on our videos. Don't mind how your background is. If it's messy, we like it that way. Just turn on your videos for a minute. And I'd like each and every one of us to just take a moment to just run through the videos you're seeing and just appreciate anything at all in anyone's background. I think I like the library I'm seeing in Joachim's background. So just look through and yeah, look through and just drop some comments in chat. What you see in other people's background. What do you see? What do you see? What's interesting? Drop them in chat. Flowing River, where you seeing that? I'll go out. Can you tell us where you're seeing that? Kuta likes my plain background. Nice. Carolina likes Ami's background. Looks like the background with tools for tinkering. Lorenzo, okay, you're jumping up. That's fine. Great. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so in your native language, we are just all going to echo goodbye all at once. And to that, just tell us, say goodbye in your local language, wherever you are, wherever you're based, and that'll be it for today. So in 3, 2, 1, go.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Alvida.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.